What is going on, guys? Today we have got a relatively big video. We're going to be talking about some FIFA 23 news. Career mode obviously is a big focus on the channel, and we'll see what they've got to say about it, though more information will be coming. Don't expect so much on the initial reveal of the game as a whole. You know, the trailer dropped. We won't react to the trailer. You can go watch that on EA Sports FIFA's channel, but we might take a look in these features section as it's, put together nice and neatly. And we'll just go through that today. Of course, if you're new, subscribe. We do a lot of career mode content if you like that. And of course, if you just want to read all of this and see it on your own, I'll leave a link for it, because I know you have to navigate a little bit to EA's website, go to the features and all that. But yeah, let's take a read. There's obviously Tuchel. I read, not on the website, but actually like on Twitter and that, people said you can actually be the real managers, like control them. So what I would probably imagine is, like, when you're going to select the team, you could select to be the real manager if you wanted to be. But let's see what they say on the official website. Live out your football dreams as a manager or player in career mode. So obviously player career mode mention as well. FIFA 23 brings you the ability to define your personality as a player. So I wonder how deep that goes. I like to read into all the definitions that they say. Manage as some of football's most famous names. See, when you're skimming through that quickly, like, oh, manage football's famous names, you're thinking players. That's what I thought when I initially read through it. That's why I said, oh, I read on Twitter. People were saying that. But yeah, manages some of football's most famous name. So essentially, I wonder if it's going to be just like essentially any manager. Like, is it going to be any manager, or is it going to be a select ones that obviously have their face scans and all that, like Tuchel? Definitely at a minimum, I'd say at least Premier League managers and the top European divisions. At this point, it's just speculation. We're trying to guess what there might be, but be real managers in FIFA 23. I'm someone that would like that. Like, I don't really care either way to, like, make my own manager. Like, yeah, it's cool. But, you know, we've done that for years now. At least someone my age. I'm 31. I've been playing FIFA since I was, like, 8 years old, man. So it's good to have something fresh and, yeah, the experience. And obviously I make videos as well. It'd be good to do, you know, some career modes as, like, rebuilding teams as their certain managers and whatnot. And there's one big news. I'm so bad at holding back things, and maybe I had it in the title, but I play on PC, and PC is going to be next gen. Yes, it's going to be a big year on FIFA PC. We're going to go hard. I was a bit dejected that it wasn't, especially for making videos. But yeah, very happy. PC next gen, FIFA 23, let's go. But we just go down to see what it says over here as well. After that, enjoy a new way to play your season with playable highlights. What does that mean, though? What does that mean? What do you mean? Like, playable highlights. I'm just waiting to see what that is. I'm not sure if we're going to go down and we're going to see that, but we're already on to match day experience. That's highlighted like career mode. So, yeah, we'll take a look at that. But, yeah, it says the most authentic FIFA career mode experience today. Hopefully it is, because I'm like one of those, older FIFA players that I talked about. Some of the older games, you could get sponsorships and all that, which is really cool. So, yeah, they're putting expectation on that. The playable highlights intrigues me. That's a new feature for career mode. At least they've added something, but I wonder, because it's a playable I'm trying to put those words together. Playable highlights. I feel like that's going to be something related with your match, and is it just like watching highlights back? Like, I'm just trying to, I'd like some features outside of match day, you know what I mean? Some actual career features. So I don't want to analyze too early, but I feel like that's what it's going to be. Like, you can just rewatch your highlights. I don't know. Because you can't watch highlights, can you now in career mode? Only directly after the game. Yeah, you can, like, see the goals. But yeah, if it's post-game and, as you're continuing the season, you can click on any game. I'm just speculating at this point. Now, we will go down to see the match day experience. So, free augmented. Like, they throw in, I remember saying this in previous years, they throw in those buzzwords to get you excited. the younger kids don't know what augmented means. I don't think I do. But yeah, they add in those buzzwords. Okay, so augmented reality broadcast replays to hyper-realistic pitch surfaces. I'll tell you what, as I said, we're not going to be showing the trailer here because you can watch that. I'm not trying to steal EA's content. I'm not. But yeah, it looks very good. That's the point we're getting to. Yeah, I'm really excited for the gameplay this year, but they always make it look nice and pretty. So hyper-realistic pitch surfaces, an enhanced stadium atmosphere. See, the gameplay still needs to be there. Like, so many people complain about the gameplay, which, yeah, I don't want to go too off on it, like, but each year people say FIFA 22 is the worst game, but the year before people were saying FIFA 21 was the worst game. Like, we don't know what the worst game is because people are just in their feelings about the current game they're actually playing. So, yeah, that's something always on my mind on Twitter. People say, oh, this FIFA 22 is the worst game, but you were saying that last year about 21 and then 20. So, yeah. Get an elevated matchday experience in FIFA 23 on next-gen platforms, which is, it's PC right now as well. So, PC players that, you know, you spent big on your PCs. EA is letting you be rewarded. So, Pro Clubs and Volta. So, like, looks very good. Like, for a screenshot, like, we'll do, like, this is some first screenshots here. But I read Pro Clubs is the only thing that's not cross-platform. So we mentioned PC, next gen. Again, something like if you're here for Ultimate Team as well, or you're more Ultimate Team player, the market is not going to be cross-platform. So that's the only thing that could hurt PC, and that's the always thing I worry about. But yeah, you can play against other players like PlayStation, Xbox. But the market, yeah, always going to be a concern because you're probably going to come up against better teams because there's more people on the market trading and all of that, or just generally selling and buying players on, yeah, Xbox and PlayStation. So that's the only downside for PC. Pro Clubs bring more personality than ever before to the pitch with new customization improvements to drop-ins, new perks and more. They had me at perks, but like, what are they? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, what are the perks? Full reveal coming soon. Volta, but who plays Volta? Like, find me someone who's played Volta. I know, like, I've tried it, like, to see what it is, but you know what they're going for. Are they really gonna, like, a few years ago, remember The Journey? Remember what they did to Alex Hunter? They just threw him away. Like, we were starting to get some development in a player career mode, even though it was already player career mode. It was like a story mode. Like, they threw that away because they realized they couldn't monetize it like FIFA Ultimate Team. So, like, I'm just like, you had a great idea there. Just like, I don't know. It's been a few years since that, and I'm just still like, okay. It's like a temporary. Volta could be temporary. Like, just bring back FIFA Street, sell it like separately. Like, that's essentially what it is. Sell a game as Volta. It's probably, well, apparently not going to be using the FIFA name anymore, so who knows if that's going to be idea. And then, of course, you can pre-order. There might be a few more things, but of course, we have to give a shout-out to a couple of the best footballers in the world. Some people, there's some that don't like the women, and, I just don't want to say too much, but yeah, some people need to grow up, basically. But shout-out to Sam Kerr, Australian, you gotta rep the Aussies. Yeah, fantastic player. Representing the women's as well. And yeah, there's some people that just say, oh yeah, I don't want to, why is the women's in FIFA? But I'm not going to use them. There might be some people, there might be girls growing up playing football and they want to, they want to use some of their favorite players as well, like you use your favorite players. But yeah, we did start on career mode, then went down. Career mode's a big focus for us. I will stream a bit of Ultimate Team on Twitch, though, if you want to follow my Twitch, Footy Manager TV. We'll do a Road to Glory from the beginning. Don't really plan to spend much money So, yeah, that's what I love to do. FIFA World Cup, like, it's going to be a big year. It's going to be a big year because the World Cup's really going to be huge. Maybe get in the comments, who do you think is going to win the World Cup? And again, shout out to the Women's World Cup as well. Again, obviously, that's, yeah, Australia and New Zealand. That's going to be a big occasion. So, introducing women's club football. See, there's going to be some people, there's going to be some dudes that just, like, they get, like, so insulted by this. And I'm like, mate, like, this is so good. This is so, not just for the game, it's good for football. Football's growing, and I don't want to get too deep into it. But, yeah, it could be parents, for whatever reason, they only got daughters, they grow up and watching football, and they love football as much as the lads do. And it's, some people can't comprehend that. And it's funny. They can't comprehend that. We'll take the information here. Players' women's club teams for the first time in EA Sports FIFA history as the Barclays FA Women's Super League and Division 1 Arkema come to the FIFA 23 at launch. Like, yeah, that's huge. Plus, enjoy dedicated Hypermotion 2 capture on next gen and brings unique true life football motion to the women's game in FIFA 23 with more detail to come throughout the summer. Yeah, like that is huge. We don't need to go too deep with it, but yeah, that's really big. That's really big. But I get the thing, if they're not improving the game, I get if the gameplay is still poor, they're like, why are you adding these other things? But that's the same thing, like different career mode features, different pro club features, whatever other features, ultimate team features. If the gameplay is coming at a loss, you know what I mean? That still needs to be a priority. So hopefully, it says gameplay, let's take a read. This hypermotion, but that's what I mean. There's two different things. How the gameplay looks can be fantastic. Like, we'll read here, Hypermotion 2. Who would have thought a FIFA feature has a sequel? So let's take a read. Advances to groundbreaking next-gen Hypermotion gameplay technology with twice as much as real match data capture. Come on, big and buzzwords. Take FIFA 23 to over 6,000 true-to-life football animations, and you can really tell that from the trailer as well, delivering realism every time you step on the pitch in FIFA 23. But that's okay. Let's take a look. New risk versus reward. Okay, that's interesting. Shooting mechanic. Okay, yeah, risk versus reward. Shooting mechanic. Refresh free kicks, penalties, and corners. I wonder how much change the penalties and corners are, and free kicks. Like, they changed it. They in the last few years to what it used to be, you know, with the circle and all that. I wonder if they're gonna, you know, keep it with that and just add on to it, or yeah, however it's gonna be. We'll be interested to see. More info, so that's gonna be it. Then we'll go on to Ultimate Team stuff, crossplay, take on friend. I wonder if you click on this, yeah, learn more, because it might just, you might want to actually see. There's a whole deep dive, so you can go read this as well. But basically, this is the information you wanna read. You want to read. In FIFA 23, crossplay will be available for players on the same platform generation. So, next gen, PS5 and Xbox Series X, Stadia, and then PC, they're grouped together. So, PC is next gen. Like, man, like, I'm just so excited that from my own personal reasons, but just the game in general is going to be, yeah, benefited so well from that. And then it says, and PS4 and Xbox One versions of FIFA 23 will be cross-play compatible with one another. See, so they word that separately. So PS4 and Xbox One are separate from PC and Stadia, PS5 and Xbox Series X/S. So yeah, you can go, this basically says it. You can see PS4, Xbox One, Play a Friend, online friendlies, and then, yeah, those are the same. You can play against friends, but you see how they're separate. They're, like, together, which I really like. Yeah, PC is grouped. I like how I'm just, like, not really talking about Stadia. Like, I'm not even sure, like, I've heard of that, but I've never really gone into too much depth what it is. But, yeah, with the matchmaking, really big as well. Wait, it doesn't even talk about the... Like, it just says, like, that's basically to do with matches, not the market, which I touched on just before. But that is really going to be good from matchmaking perspective. At least you can, you know, get into games pretty quick and sharp. Especially if you're someone from me, like from Australia, we get match people from Australia. We probably have a lower kind of, like, if you're from Europe, like, say if you're from England, I don't know if you only get matched from people from England or UK and other European countries. Let me know the difference anyway, because I haven't done that. I haven't experienced that. But yeah, you might be from similar countries, or you would have a similar experience. If you read here, with the expansion of crossplay, FIFA 23 will see multiple groupings of the FUT transfer market, and we'll share more information about further down the track. So multiple groupings means, yeah, different. They're not going to be on the same game. But I'm not surprised. Some people are so shocked about it, but like Xbox and PlayStation markets have always been different. So to expect PC, like to put the market all together, I wasn't expecting that. Like that would be pretty hard. Well, I don't know how hard it would be, but the fact that Xbox and PlayStation markets have never been together. So there's that. So for those that, we won't spend too much time on Ultimate Team. We'll take a look, build your squad. Like Ultimate Team is so in-depth already, we gotta say. So new FUT moments and revamped chemistry system. I'm like, what are they going to change to chemistry? Like, what they're going to add to make players have good chemistry with each other? Icons and FUT heroes, greats of the game and past fan favorites return to the pitch. See, this time of the year as well, if we're talking about like FIFA 22, there's so many like beasts, or so many overpowered players. Like, yeah, it's mad. And yeah, there's more gonna come. So we're gonna leave it at that, I think, because yeah, as I said, career mode, we started on that, big focus. And like, I'm someone, just to round up the point on career mode, like where you can get so into the story, but career mode doesn't really have a big story about it. You go into game after game, you get to a transfer window, you make some transfers, and then you do it all over. That's why, yeah, you just want a bit more action, I feel. It's really good how you can train your players up, but those are, you know, kind of come to be expected type things. I personally, just myself, I want to see a bit more. So playable highlights, I've given my thoughts what I think it could be just off the name of it, because just highlights itself, that's not going to be something so like, yeah, you can't expect it to be too much outside of matches. Yeah, you're looking back at your game probably. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I hope we see a bit more in career mode, but how often do we be saying that the last few years? We'll leave it there for now. Let me know your thoughts. What are you excited about after seeing all this that we've presented today? Leave your thoughts. As I said, subscribe, turn notifications on so you can be the first to see my new FIFA videos, and I'll see you next time.